guitar's out of tune. Anyway, this is just a test. We'll get this thing dialed in, but I got a new sound set up. And so I'm trying to test this today, and then we'll get this dialed in for next time. Is that loud? Anyway, let's get started, you guys. It's Sunday, May 26, 2024. And the theme today, of course, is gaslighting extreme. New headlines that are telling us the obvious, right? And still, yet nobody is listening. Well, what's going on? Well, I got a lot to share with you guys today. People are arguing about all the wrong issues, and it's apparent to me that this gaslighting is taking place because they're trying to confuse and confound the American people going into the election. And it's all about gaslighting. And that's what today's show is going to be about. Arguing about all the wrong things. We've got Trump hanging out with rappers. We've got fast food people dying. Killer whales that kill, of course. Self-driving cars that drive you to your death. Literally idiocracy in plain sight. Yet people fail to see what's right in front of their faces. Like this story, for instance. I mean, what did he think was going to happen? Morgan Spurlock, the Super Size Me director, dies at age 53 from cancer. Now, many of you guys will remember this guy. He was famous for a documentary called Super Size Me, where he ate fast food for 30 days. And at that point, he documented the whole thing. Let's see if there's a video here. Let's play this. He documented the whole thing. And then what we found was that he started to deteriorate in health. And there was a shocking change in his appearance. And now, of course, he's dead at the age of 53. And they're saying from cancer complications. Morgan Spurlock, director of the star of McDonald's documentary Super Size Me. Let's play this video and see what this says here. Now, what's going on with all this? Well, it's the obvious, isn't it? Here we are in 2024, and you can still go and eat yourself to death in America. Now, people call that freedom or whatever, but at the end of the day, why is there so much of this stuff around for people to consume? Let's play this video.
Quarter pounder with cheese meal. I think I'm going to have to go super.
Now, apparently he consumed like 5,000 calories a day in this documentary, and the corporations are still allowed to make and sell this killing food that is literally feeding people to death. Nothing's changed, with McDonald's still opening restaurants in nearly every country in the world. And let's see what kind of cancer this guy died from, because, you know, filmmaker's family announced the news. He died at age 53 peacefully. Well, you know, that's just to say, oh, well, at least you died doing what you wanted to do, right? At least you died being happy, I think is the message there. Surrounded by family and friends in New York, complications of cancer. Sad day to say. That's young. 53 is a really young age. Morgan gave so much through his art, ideas, generosity. The world has lost a creative genius and a special man. And let's see here. It doesn't say what kind of cancer he died of. Now, there's a lot of this stuff going on in the wake of warp speed in plain sight. You know, every once in a while, I still get attacked for people saying that I pick on Trump. And they're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, the simple fact that millions of people have been affected by warp speed. It tells you everything you need to know. And if that isn't something that people recognize, then they're going to have to figure out where they stand and what they believe in going into this election. Now, here's another crazy story. Another obvious story. Remember the Japanese hot dog eating champion, this guy? Let's see if this video will play for us. Well, same thing. He ain't feeling so good. And he's retiring at age 46 after consuming what he said was millions of hot dogs. And let's read this. Japanese competition eater Takeru Kobayashi, 6-time Nathan's hot dog pop-up. There's a pop-up. He has announced his retirement from the sport due to rising health concerns. Yeah, like what did you think was going to happen? I've decided to retire from competitive eating. It's all I've done for the last 20 years, he says. And he announced in his Netflix, Hack Your Health, The Secrets of Your Gut. Now, something crazy happened to this guy from all of his overeating. He said it has left him with no appetite or sensation of fullness, which his wife says causes him to go days without eating anything at all. Now, you got to remember, in preparation for a lot of these competitions, they will fast so that they're not eating any food. So that's what could have been part of it as well. He says he feels like his body is broken. He says, I hear people say they're hungry and they look very happy after they've eaten. I'm jealous of those people because I no longer feel hunger. So welcome to the world of the obvious. Now, what else is going on? Did you hear about this one? Now, this is actually kind of funny. You know, when Biden eats fried chicken with black people, us on the right see it for what it is, right? Which is basically gaslighting. But when Trump does the same thing, oh, it's just because he's hip and relates to black people, right? What happened? Well, Trump showed up for a rally in the Bronx and he features these two rappers. Now, of course, the left is all over him about this because these guys are like convicted felons or something like that. But let's focus on something else here because it's not just about that, right? Remember when we exposed the whole Kodak Black, Kanye West, Gemini psyop when Trump was like, had those two in his inner circle and how both of those rappers shared Trump's Gemini birthday origins? Well, let's take a look at the more spiritual aspect of this sighting here and this showing here at Trump's rally, because it's actually the more relevant of the two. And these two guys, and I didn't know who these guys were because I don't really follow the rap world, but apparently this is Chef G and another guy named, what's the other guy's name? Sleepy Hallow. Okay. So we're looking for spiritual aspects to these two individuals that showed up to Trump's rally and why Trump would bring these people to this. And here's what I think is happening here. This is gaslighting. This is the shape of things to come. And they're giving a platform so that ultimately at a certain point, this will be turned back against black people, right? And they'll say, well, you had your chance. Trump tried to help you. But Trump shows the worst of black people, right? Not the best. He's not up there with black attorneys or black doctors, right? If you really think about what I'm saying, you'll understand this is true. So let's get into the spiritual aspects of this, because all of this is Kabbalistic magic, isn't it? This is Chef G, one of the men on stage with Trump, and look at his birthday, 9/23. What are the odds of that? September 23rd. Now, 9/23 backwards is 3/29. Which is March 29th, the 88th day of the year. And there's your 88 miles an hour Back to the Future Trump Biff. Now, remember, these people are given airtime to further disparage the black image and create role models for more gangster-like behavior, which puts people in fear. And this is all a big setup, setting up black people for the honey trap fall at some point in their lives, because what happens is they take on these personas and They're just waiting to get, their career, their NFL career taken away or thrown in jail or carrying weapons. I mean, we've seen it all play out. We know how this all ends. Glorifying gangsters. And it's basically essentially when you do this, when you give these people airtime like Trump is doing, you're essentially gaslighting black people. Okay, there's no other way to slice this. Now, let's look at this other rapper. This guy is Sleepy Hollow, and his spiritual aspect is a little bit more direct. He was born on Apollo's birthday, winter solstice 666, or 1999. In other words, these guys were handpicked to attend the rally based on their occult symbolism related to Trump directly. And that's how the occult magic works, because when they turn this back on black people, which they will at some point, that's when all of this magic starts coming full circle, right? Now, let me go back into the chat, check in with you guys, make sure we're still connected. Now, many of you were concerned because there was a couple storms that blew through here last night, and everything is just fine. There was a tornado warning right in our area. Cheryl got the same warning. And so we're fine. Like I tell you guys, I looked at the tornado history map going back 150 years, or 125 years. And there's a pocket of where there's no tornadoes, and any tornado forecaster will tell you that these tornadoes they thrive on the flatter areas, right? And once they hit mountain ranges, something happens to them and they break up. And so there is a pocket here of about 10 square miles in the Ozarks of safety where there's really never any tornadoes, and there hasn't been. Now, I'm not saying that can't change at some point. And parts of the county that are flatter have had them, but I'm not in the flat part of the county. So we're just fine over here. So, but thanks for all the prayers and blessings and stuff like that and concerns. Now, what else do we have going on? Let me go in the chat with you guys for a little bit. Let's put on this chat here. Good morning. All right. Now, what else is going on? Well, killer whales that kill things. Who would have thought? It's crazy. People are so shocked about these things. But this is what killer whales do. In this case, killer whales keep ramming and sinking boats. This is out of USA Today. Scientists now may know why, report says. They don't talk about how this is a recent activity, that this never happened before. All they say is, oh, we figured this out. Let's read this. For the last 5 years, killer whales have been ramming and in some cases sinking expensive yachts, fishing boats, and motorboats in the crystalline waters off the coast of Spain, Portugal, France, and Morocco. Why has been a mystery up until recently. A multinational group of Orca experts that met in February, sponsored by the government, have released a report outlining what they think is happening. What originally appeared to be attacks on more than 673 boats since 2020 now seem more like to be a bunch of bored teenage orcas looking for something to do. So now they're trying to say it's just a pod of bored teenage orcas. Okay. Unbelievable. Now, what else is going on? Self-driving cars that don't self-drive? In fact, these cars are trying to kill you. I mean, who would have thought, right? Tesla owner claims self-driving mode didn't detect a moving train ahead. Now, let's look at this footage here, because this is pretty interesting. As this guy waits to the last second, putting all of his trust in the artificial intelligence of his car before it hits a moving train. And this guy's so brainwashed that he still tries to take responsibility for his own car trying to kill him. Let's figure this out here. Let's go back up here. Where did that story go? This is nuts. Tesla owner claims self-driving mode didn't detect a moving train ahead. Let's see here. Now, everybody remembers Knight Rider. Well, watch this. Let's fix this first. Let's listen to these guys. Oh boy.
So this is kind of a weird. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
All right, let's see. Let's put it on 270. Let's see if that helps it.
Spoke to the driver, you know, he explained.
I want to pre-record some of these and then play them back for you guys.
Me more, and he said he got so used to.
I don't think this is going to play. Something with his browser. But anyway, let's fast forward to this part where the guy's like actually about to hit the train and he pulls off right at the last second. Apologies for the technical errors here, you guys. Trying to still get this new system still set up. And oh, here we go. And then they like interview the guy and he's like, well, I take responsibility because ultimately I was driving the car.
Now, as I'm going towards this train, and he just.
And he's like filming the whole thing.
So used to it, he thought it was going to stop.
It's so interesting you say that because.
It gets all foggy. There's the train.
Because it comes at a time when Tesla just rolled out the ability to opt in and test out the full self-driving mode.
So obviously something's wrong and people are just going with it. Oh, my fault. I was the one who was driving the car. I should have taken control. Okay. Now, everybody remembers Kit, Knight Rider from the TV show, Knight Rider, artificial intelligence, right? Now, this was already happening in 1982. They already had concept for all this stuff. Let's try to play this video.
You know what's impressive? A talking car.
So here we are in 2024, but in 1982, they had essentially the self-driving car, Kit.
But I'll tell you what impresses me. A talking train. This GE locomotive can tell you exactly where it is.
And there he is driving next to a train. Same thing. And in the commercial, he actually passes right under the train, almost as if he's crashing into it.
What it's carrying while using less fuel. Delivering whatever the world needs when it needs it.
You can't make this up. So now what was on this commercial is now happening in 2024. Wow. Now, Kit was hydrogen powered. I looked up the specs on the Kit car from Knight Rider. TT is 2020. Obviously, that was around the year that the self-driving car came out. So Kit, K-I-T-T, 2020. I know it came out a little bit before that, but essentially, Kit had hydrogen power, driverless technology. It even had a silent mode, kind of like our modern electric cars that you can't hear coming. They actually literally have to create a sound so that people know that they're there. And Kit was like a smart car in pretty much every other way. He had collision avoidance systems, and as well as real-time network internet access before the internet was ever a thing in 1982. He could access, like, go onto the network and find diagrams and things like that of buildings and stuff like that. And now here we are with 5G technology, which they've said will assist and do a much better job of 4G in handling these driverless cars because they need real-time data, a data connection, and it's essential because if you try to drive a self-driving car in a rural area without internet access, it's going to crash. Kit could even walk on water, just to give you an idea of where all this is headed. It had some kind of hydroplane mode, and it used like its turbo boosters. Now here's the Wikipedia page on the Kit car from 1982, and it even had a dark twin car called Car, K-A-R-R. So there was Kit and Car. You ready for this? car was introduced on 9/11. The twin of Kit was introduced on 9/11. Well, it was 11/19, which is 9/11 backwards. This was in 1982. And so essentially, it was gaslighting a future event, the Twin Towers falling, before they ever happened. Now, they brought Carr back. Remember the dark twin of Kit? They brought Carr back on another episode on the eve of the 5th of November, November 4th, 1982. Or maybe it was 83. But anyway, I'll attach this here for you guys. And then you can check this out for yourself. Wow. Now, what else is going on in the news? Mom fined $88,000 after her children collected 72 clams in California. Of course, there's the 88. And welcome to California, where your kids make a mistake and your parents pay for it in a huge way. $88,000. Now, that's not an accident, right? $88,000 for picking up clams. This is in San Luis Obispo County. That's actually where we went to college at, so that's kind of weird too. Bizarre. Welcome to Bizarre World. All right, I'm back in the chat, you guys. I'm going to play this guitar just for a little bit longer, just because I'm kind of testing the sound here. This was kind of a sound test show, so we'll see how this works. I'll listen back to the show. The tuning is a little bit off, though. Anyway, I love you guys, and I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love, everybody.